So, welcome to another Lilly Endowment Comprehensive Counseling Initiative monthly video update, and I'm Kelly Dunn. Each month, we feature a school or an organization that receives funding from Lilly Endowment to learn more about how they're growing collaborations and improving education for students and adults across the state. So today we have Karen Morris, Program Director with APTIP IN, and we have Angie Gladish, a school counselor at Boonville High School. So welcome to you both.
Thank you, Kelly.
Actually, Karen, I'll start with you. Could you tell us a little bit about your organization, about APTIP IN?
Right. Thanks, Kelly. So the Advanced Placement Teacher Investment Program that we call APTIP IN here in the state of Indiana actually started in 2012. We got funding from the federal government, the U.S. Department of Education. And this funding helped us to implement the strategies that were part of a national program that was employed in many states across the U.S. The group is called the National Math and Science Initiative. So for this work, we were to validate the strategies of the National Math and Science Initiative. Our focus is in the STEM areas. So we used math, science, and English. And the whole point of the program is using AP courses as a means to prepare students for those burgeoning STEM careers that we're seeing growing throughout the state of Indiana. So at that time, we had 30 Indiana public high schools that we worked with. After the grant concluded, we were able to get other statewide grants and then get some funding from the Lilly Endowment to continue this program. So we are now in our 9th year. We're heading up into 10 years. I can't believe it. Our goals are really simple. They're pretty straightforward. They are to increase the number of students taking advanced placement math, science, and English courses in the places where we work. So people like Angie Gladish are very important to the work that we do. And then using our strategies, which really are teacher focused, are to help increase the number of students earning the qualifying score. That's a 3, 4, or 5 on their AP exams in those courses that we support. So we do a lot of teacher professional development. We have lots of resources for teachers in our program, and we also have lots of supports for our students. So while our focus is on growth and success, we partner with the teachers to do both, and we partner with our guidance partners at the schools to help with the enrollment part of it.
Great, thank you. Well, Angie, I was wondering if you might talk a little bit about your work as a school counselor at Boonville High School and the work that you all did with APTIP IN.
Sure. So we got the information from Karen. Her team came down and visited with us the first time around and sold us on this wonderful idea. So we worked really hard together. At the time, we had English courses, we had two science courses, I guess, and a math course. So through the process, we increased the number of students taking the courses and earning 3, 4s, and 5s. And we also ended up adding a science course in the process. So we really increased from where we started to where we are now. And it all was easily done because they give us the information and provide us a lot of what we need to do. My job's pretty easy. I just share with the teachers and then they take care of it from there.
Well, what words of advice or words of wisdom would either of you have for other schools about how they might effectively collaborate with one another? Because I know, Karen, you collaborate with lots of schools, and Angie, your school's had an opportunity to collaborate with APTIP IN. Any words of advice that you would have?
I think, first of all, one thing to recognize, Kelly, that we see happen at schools like Boonville, because AP teachers are often the only AP teacher in, say, for example, in a science or in mathematics that exist at those schools. So they all often feel like they're isolated or they're on islands in their school. So one of the things that we have done with our program that we recommend schools do is try and find your supporters, get your network going. So the APTIP IN program, as part of our work, has really helped teachers to work within the network of the schools inside the program. And then as we have started to provide supports for teachers all around the state, outside of the program. So when we work with teachers, we have them in cohorts. Actually, Boonville was our cohort 6 school. We're now up to cohort 8. And cohort 6 has 2 years of professional development these teachers participated in. And so they meet with teachers on both sides of the cohort. So they had interactions with cohort 5 and then cohort 7. So not only are they able to participate in developing that network because they meet people, but then they have those great conversations. So finding those partnerships that really can help you thrive is such an important thing for our AP teachers in our AP program. The other thing that we did in helping form relationships was to develop a similar structure for our administrators that we work with, like Angie. So we call them our designated administrators. We host an in-person meeting at the beginning of the year just to kind of kick off what is the grant about, what is the program about. But then monthly, we would have meetings with those administrators so they too can then form relationships, because Boonville is a long way from Argus. That's Boonville's far in the south. Argus is way in the north, but they're about the same size and they do many similar things. So having a conversation with someone who is about your size of a school, picking their brains, giving opportunities for that, again, expanding that network, finding resources that will help you, learning from other people who've done things, and then able to share your successes and maybe your struggles with other people really are helpful as well.
And Angie, I was curious to know, how was getting teacher buy-in? Did you find it was fairly easy to do, or were there some roadblocks or bumps in the road?
I think our teachers did a good job. They came together. It was a small group. They knew that they would like to have the help, the support, because really professional development was limited for them. So this was giving them professional development that they've never had before. And it's valuable. They really used it and they cherish it and they're glad they've had it and they continue to use it. The resources are, out of this world as far as I'm concerned. I feel like they know who to contact and can go through the process of getting a hold of them, getting help, and they form their own little groups, within their specific subject areas. So I think that's been very beneficial.
One thing I want to also emphasize, Kelly, that I saw happen at Boonville with Angie's help that I didn't see at a lot of our other program schools was that Angie would work with teachers on, was it every other week you had meetings with the AP teachers on implementation, Angie? Yeah,
that first year we did. We worked to just be able to have time to meet just within our school, our AP teachers, and what they were seeing was working with their students in their classroom and maybe things that they could utilize in their, switch across the curriculum there just a little bit. So those horizontal teams that you built were just so beneficial. I think in installing the kind of a program that had the success like at Boonville. So we really were impressed by the way that Angie just kind of took it on and worked to get her teachers comfortable with the program, having conversations about how this may play out, as she said, in other classes, and then just growing that way. So that we were really, we thought that was a really great idea and have actually recommended employing that in other places.
Well, so often businesses, organizations, groups such as yours, Karen, you've had to maybe make changes or shift or even reinvent yourselves in maybe innovative ways to overcome challenges, to be more productive. What ways does your organization or others like yours maybe help schools, school counseling programs, or just schools in general with the challenges that they might face, such as limited time, staffing, or limited resources?
Mm-hmm. I think the word COVID and reinvention are going to be pretty synonymous over the next few years.
Absolutely.
I think part of the way, I don't think of it as a reinvention, maybe just iterative. You learn from what you've done, and when things don't go well, you try and improve. So it is an iterative process. But one of the things I think that has always been helpful to us was making certain that we have clear communication. We try to be as transparent as possible. I don't think it's very fair to schools when you have hidden gimmies and gotchas, and you have to be forthcoming and upfront in the get-go. That has never changed. I think maybe how we've communicated that has changed a little bit, especially this year. With our not just our program schools, but the schools that continue to work in the program. We call them our affiliate schools. So when a school is officially done with our program, funded for 2 years with Lilly funding, then the school has a chance to continue this as an affiliate, and they pay a small fee, and then we continue the conversations with all of our affiliate administrators and work with our teachers on a peripheral way, continuing the great work that they've started. So I think communications have really changed. Previously, we did a lot of in-person visits, of course, that's BC before COVID. Right. Now that we are in this COVID environment, we've really had to and learned effective ways of communicating via Zoom and online meetings like this, and trying to make a similar experience for teachers, because we know how much that relational capital and having the relationship with them really is important, and yet and so we need to at least share the information in a similar way.
So thank you again, Karen and Angie, for joining us today. We really appreciate all the work that you do, and for taking time today to give us a summary for our CCI monthly video update. Thanks again.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks for having us.